Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to episode 28 of All the Gear But No Idea. Rhodey, how are you going, big man?
Very good, Diz. Very good. How are you, mate?
I'm going well, thank you. We are very lucky to be joined today by Alex Williams, a man that is extremely heavily involved in the freshwater scene, but more broadly the recreational fishing scene, being the director of Recfish SA, Rhodey.
He's a very busy man, Diz. He's also involved in OzFish Barossa.
Yep.
He's heavily involved in the Warren Reservoir.
One of the founding people.
The Bream Master comps.
Yes.
And he's just he's got his finger in many pies,
yeah,
Diz.
He's all about the place and we absolutely love that. We love his support and we look forward to having a chat with him a bit later on this episode. But Rhodey, let's get stuck into the oranges and lemons for this fortnight just gone, mate. What's been your orange?
Good to get away over the long weekend, Diz.
Yes.
Lucy and I went down to Yorks and camped on John, her family friend's property, sort of down between Daly Head and Gleeson's.
Lovely spot.
It's a good spot, so we camped there, got the boat out a couple of times, which we'll touch on in the fishing report.
Yes, we look forward to hearing about it later.
But very good to get out of Adelaide, bit of fresh air, bit of camping.
Yeah.
Good times.
Absolutely, mate.
So that's certainly my orange, making the most of the long weekend, is.
Fantastic, mate.
What about you?
My orange has been the wonderful stickers provided by the Aussie Decal Depot.
Yes, the boat squitters put us onto them.
The boat squitters put us onto them.
Megan and Andrew.
Yeah, very good.
Very good people to deal with.
Yes. Yeah, no, thank you to the suggestions on Facebook for that. We're very happy with their final product. They've come up a treat.
And we've put them on Facebook and Instagram, a couple of pictures, so make sure you jump on there and have a look at the good work they've done for us.
Yes.
And so we'll certainly be recognisable out in the water now, won't we, Diz?
Yeah, which might be a problem.
So when you carry on like a pork chop, everyone's going to know it's us.
When you have 15 goes at reversing the boat down the ramp,
mate.
everyone is just genuinely going to know that we are all the gear.
So make sure you do get in contact with the guys at the Aussie Decal Depot if you need any stickers or whatever.
Yeah, they do more than the stickers, mate.
Stubby holders.
Stubby holders, merch, just get amongst them. Rhodey, tell us about your lemon, mate.
Look, now, we went down to Althorpe's in January, the two of us.
Yep.
And your old man. And we pillaged them.
We cleaned up.
We got nannies, we got blue morwong, we caught about a dozen tuna.
Yeah.
So, we had
Catch
high
and
hopes.
release.
We had high hopes this weekend, didn't we?
We did. We went with aspirations of great success.
So the five of us, so us two, Lucy and my sister Ella and her boyfriend Jack, all trekked out. He's a local boy. We trekked out to Althorpe's from Marion Bay on the Sunday of the long weekend.
Yeah.
As I said, very high hopes.
Yeah.
And it didn't deliver.
Oh, no, it did not. It did not.
Caught one blue morwong and two whiting.
It was a horrible effort.
So
I thought with a bit of local knowledge from Jack, we might have got on him. He was impressed with the ride of the boat, though, which was good.
Yes, did get this tick of approval.
Yes.
But we thought Althorpe's was some sort of mecca.
Yeah.
But it didn't deliver on the weekend.
No.
So that's my lemon.
Day.
We'll go back again, though.
Yeah, absolutely we will. Well, I'm just going to roll straight over into my lemon because it's somewhat related. I'd had a wedding on Saturday, so Millie and I couldn't come down for the weekend's camping. And a long drive, what do you feel like before you make the trip out to Althorpe's? Well, naturally, it's a cup of coffee. And Rhodey, you were kind enough to buy me a coffee, but turned out it was basically just a cup of milk. Did you even ask for a shot of espresso in that, or did you ask for some sort of baby chino?
Oh, Jesus, I've seen some ungratefulness in my day, but this just about takes the cake.
That was absolutely shocking.
Well, look, it wasn't the best coffee, but better than nothing.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. But, it's got to be a pretty bad cup of coffee to take out the lemon for my fortnight.
Yeah, well, it must have been a good fortnight, I suppose.
Okay, Rhodey, give the listeners a bit of an update on the merch. Now, naturally, we have definitely got some ideas in the pipeline, especially seeing as we've struck up a bit of a relationship with the Aussie Decal Depot.
Yes,
Still got hats available though, haven't we?
Yeah, we got caps, we got stubby holders. There is some little whisper that we might look into some bumper stickers.
Oh, okay.
Something similar.
Ew,
sort of through the Aussie Decal Depot, but we'll keep that one close to our chest for now. But that's just a little tease for all the listeners.
Little tease, hot off the press. Nice, mate. Nice, we like it. All right, well, let's just roll straight over into the news because we've got a bit to get through here, mate.
We certainly do, Diz.
Tell us about the Southeast Snapper season closure. This has been breaking and it's been all over the socials, but importantly, we want to give the listeners the first-hand news. So go for it, Rhodey.
Now, Diz, this popped up on David Basham's Facebook and on the PIRSA website. It was announced that the recreational snapper quota in the southeast has been reached.
Yep.
And the season is going to close at 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday the 10th of March.
Yep.
So as we record now, you've got about 4 hours to get out there and get it.
Yeah, you haven't got long.
So by the time this episode goes live, it'll be even less.
Yes.
But, interestingly enough, so the 5-month recreational allocation of 1,077 snapper, God knows how they came up with that exact
be
number.
My next question.
Anyway, so that's been open from the 1st of February and it was due to stay open until the 30th of June. So they've reached that quota in the first 6 weeks of the season.
People were obviously keen to get out there and get on them.
Certainly. So, and it's a good news story, this one, Diz, because we know last year they went for the tag system.
Yes.
And that wasn't overly popular.
No, it was a resounding negative feedback from that system.
So last year, 3,000 snapper tags were distributed and only 452 snapper were caught in the southeast.
Yep.
And people weren't happy that the tags didn't end up going to the right people.
Yep.
Which led to the situation we've got this year. So already in the first sort of 6 weeks of the season, over twice as many snapper have been caught recreationally, which is great.
Been good.
So 700 recreational fishermen have got into a snapper this season. The bag limit of 2 snapper per person has meant that they're well spread.
Yes.
So the other thing to note on this, so very good decision in my opinion. They kept the season open for another week after the allocation was reached.
Yep.
Obviously, we've just had the long weekend, so I'm sure plenty of people had their long weekend plans already made.
Yes.
So it was good of them to keep it open for that.
Yes, it was.
And what that's going to mean, so the season now reopens in the southeast on the 1st of July, and there's another 862 snapper allocated between then and the 31st of October. We'd probably expect that limit to be caught earlier again.
Oh, well, absolutely, mate. If that's anything to go by. Mind you, through the winter, you might not get as many chances to get out on the water.
Possibly. And the whatever snapper were caught, so I think it was sometime last week when the quota was reached. In the week over the long weekend, whatever snapper is caught in that will come off the next quota.
Oof.
Does that make sense, Diz?
It does.
You're looking perplexed.
I'm following you, mate.
So
You're
the take-home
explaining
message in all of this is I would be getting into them pretty early after the season reopens because we have seen that they do go quickly.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
And the other part to that is there's only 1 snapper per person.
Yes, it's dropped down to 1. For
So the MARFAC and the Snapper Management Advisory Committee were both involved in a decision. Instead of 2 snapper per person, the next time it opens, it'll only be 1.
Yes, very good.
So I think that's a good news story, it is.
Good news story, breaking. Glad they did the right decision for the extension of 1 week over the long weekend.
Common sense, really, isn't it?
Yes, we did. Now, moving on to a bit of a very somber note, Rhodey. There's been a drowning at Outer Harbour after a boat has crashed into the southern part of the Outer Harbour breakwater.
Yes, Diz. So 2 men were out fishing on Thursday, March the 4th.
Yes.
Alarm was raised at 6:15 when their boat crashed into the southern Outer Harbour breakwater.
Yes.
Both men ended up in the drink. They were spotted by the police helicopter after the alarm was raised.
Yes.
A 66-year-old man was winched to safety and taken to the RAR with non-life-threatening chest injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a 77-year-old man was found unresponsive and his body was retrieved by water police operations.
Yes.
So not good news there, Diz.
No, horrible news, mate. The weather got pretty ordinary in the afternoon and it started to become unsafe.
And I did there was a few quotes in the article I was reading from a couple of locals, a local bloke that lives down there and also the guy who runs the boat hire company, both saying the weather wasn't great.
Yes. Yeah.
So not sure whether they got caught out there or, took on a bit more weather than what they should have.
Yeah. Possibly, mate. Nonetheless, it's a very timely reminder to be safe out on the water. The weather can turn at a moment's notice and you need to make sure you've got your safety gear, and our thoughts go out to the friends and family of the gentleman who passed. Ready?
Yes. Sad news there, Diz.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on to something that a great friend of the show, Lee Van Soest, has been very passionate about. We were lucky enough to have her on the show, and we can discuss this, and we've sort of gave a bit of preamble last episode, but the Reeling in Junior Anglers Clinic is planned for Port Lincoln. They're trying to go ahead for April 10, and they're just waiting on some council approval, as we understand, Rody.
Yes, so they're looking for volunteers, so if you do live over that way,
Yep.
we would encourage you to sign up and help Lee and her team out.
Yes.
So that can be done via the volunteers tab on the website, reelinginjunioranglers.com.
Yep.
If you've got any questions or you would like to get involved, we would strongly encourage you to get in contact with our good friend Lee Van Soest,
Yes.
and I'm sure she'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've also got voting open for Zone 5, which is the Flurio and KI. So jump on the Facebook page. We've got Ryan, 14 years old, Jai, who's 7, Ocean, who's 14, and Buddy, who's 9. So get on there, like their photos, and show your support in voting. We also was announced that Nash, the young 12-year-old, won the Zone 4 ambassador. So he'll be amongst it.
Good on him.
Absolutely, mate.
Very good on him.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing what happens more in there. It's a great little initiative for the future of the recreational fishing scene, Roddy.
Yes, very well done for him.
Let's move on to the SA Carp Frenzy, Roddy. That's coming up very, very shortly. And we did, I believe, talk about this last year. And there's some cash prizes up for grabs.
Yes, there is a lot of money up for prizes. So $5,000 in cash prizes.
Whew.
So the competition's 13th of March, so very soon.
Mm-hmm.
First prize, $3,000.
Yep.
Second prize, $1,500.
Yep.
Third prize, $500.
And there's a lot other great prizes up for grabs, mate. There's 5 weekend getaways. There's a kayak, a swag, fishing gear, local wine, plus many other prizes on the day.
So all those cash prizes are actually for the random draw too, Diz.
Yes.
So the biggest carp, biggest carp land-based, biggest carp from a boat, biggest carp from a kayak.
Yeah.
All have prizes. Lots of riverland accommodation, things like that. And lots of goodies.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's great.
And only $20 for adults.
Yep.
$10 for kids.
Yep.
And we'd encourage you all to make a weekend of it too, Diz.
Absolutely.
And I did see on Facebook, the SA Carp Frenzy shared a post reminding people that camping is free at Lake Bonnie for the competition.
Yes.
After there was a bit of a rumour that it wasn't free.
Come on, 588.
Apparently Roey's been spreading rumours.
Whoops.
Anyway, it is free. Confirmed.
Confirmed free. Great weekend away. Get amongst it.
So certainly get around it. Get in for the prize draws, and be great to make a weekend of that one, Diz.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's really good. Okay, Rody, I'm going to show you a bit of a story here which SAFA has been announcing across their Facebook page. There's been some spear fisher people have been caught in the KI no-take zone. Naughty, naughty.
Oof.
The New Marine Parks patrol vessel, a lovely 8.5 metre all-weather patrol vessel that has been recently in use, has been detecting some significant illegal fishing behaviour in the South Australian sanctuary zones, Rody.
Not good, Diz.
Not good at all. So the people have been caught in the Sponge Gardens area in Backstairs Passage. They were found with 35 reef fish, including blue grouper and harlequin. They were busy at doing that, and then while they were at it, they just thought they'd tuck a couple of hundred shellfish in their bag. Thoughts?
Not good, is it?
Horrible.
On 2 counts.
2 counts, very poor behaviour, and interestingly, in that same article, I was shocked to find out that over the last few months alone, there's been over 100 or approximately 100 compliance incidents in the Encounter Marine Park. That's the one that wraps around the Flurio and across to KI. It's been it's ranged lobster pots, crab nets, fish being seized, and even more concerning is that the officers have basically said that the people who have been caught have been knowingly fishing in the sanctuary zone, but just simply forgetting to check their location.
Not good, is it, Diz?
Poor form.
We don't like to see people caught, but sometimes we probably do, really.
We like breaking a bit of this news just to remind people that doing the wrong thing is just not on.
No.
Those zones are in there for a reason, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, let's move on to a bit more of a positive news story coming out of Perza. There's been the announcement of the traditional fishing agreement coming up and being signed between the Marshall Liberal government and the Narungga Nation. Brody?
Yeah, so
it's excellent. The agreement has come to basically combine the existing top fisheries management team and the Aboriginal knowledge which has been there for generations, and basically there'll be now an allowance for traditional and cultural fishing in the Narungga traditional waters, which is great news for those who have fished there for many, many, many years.
Certainly is, and this is all worked into the numbers of the recreational catch, isn't it, Diz?
Yes, it is, and the agreement has basically come about as an input from traditional land owners to help inform the management of the fishery. So it's a very exciting announcement for the traditional land owners as they enjoy getting out there, the exercise, the enjoyment, the fulfillment they get from their traditional fishing practices, and they're going to do it absolutely in a sustainable way.
Yeah,
right?
Look, Tiz, I think this is a positive step.
I think it's good. It's recognising the traditional landowners, which is becoming more and more prevalent in many different areas, but this is just a good, feel-good news story, Roddy.
And it's not a new thing, Diz, it's just something that they've re-signed, is it? Or they've tweaked it a bit?
I think this is the first of its kind.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
I wasn't sure if it was a new thing or a...
It's specific involvement from the Narungga Nation to basically allow management and fishing in that area.
And for those not aware, Narungga is basically Yorke Peninsula.
Yep, Yorke Peninsula and some surrounds. So, that's a good one, Roddy. We like that.
Yeah. Lots of good news there today, Diz.
Yes, there's a bit going on there. So that wraps up the news for this week. And now we're going to be joined by Alex Williams.
All right, Diz, we're very lucky to be joined here by Alex Williams. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, lads. Thanks for the invite and having me on.
No, you've been a long time coming, Alex. We've always had you on our podcast radar, and it's great to get you on the show, and we do always appreciate you sharing our stuff across your networks. But for the meantime, Alex, let's get stuck into the 5 questions that we ask all of our guests, and we're going to start off with you telling us about your best fish.
Oh, that's a tricky one. I tried to think about the best single fish, but I had to do it between a tie between 3, so I'll try and go through them pretty quick.
Go for it.
First one we'll go through is my biggest KI Bream. The reason why that was such a good fish for me is because I spent probably 3 years fishing this particular system without a single touch at all. I heard from the locals that that's where the big ones were, and I kept persisting, and one day a little Z-Man grub, one hop, and a screaming spool, and I managed to pull in my biggest brim ever and biggest brim on the island, which went I think about 46.5 centimetres. So
that's very good. Brim.
Can we ask the general direction, Alex?
General
North,
direction.
south, east, west?
Yeah, Kangaroo Island's located south of Adelaide. Yeah, no, it's a pretty popular system. It's probably the smallest system on the island, so it's probably not one that I'd probably get in a bit of trouble.
No,
if I
fair
gave it
enough.
away.
No.
But any of, even Chapman River's a real good one. There's some good brim in there if you can weed through the undersized. But so that was certainly a memorable fish for me. The other one would probably be my first southern bluefin tuna that I got end of last year. Me and the old man had been trying for a couple of seasons to get onto the SBTs there, and kept going off out in the passage with no luck, and finally tried off Victor, and we got plenty off there, and that was pretty memorable to share that experience with Dad. But probably the one that takes the cake is my first Murray cod. That one came fishing the Lower Murray Lure Fishing Club Callop Championships end of last year. Basically thought that I'd got snagged up on a bit of structure. It wasn't until I realised that I was drifting along the cliffs at about 2k an hour and the snag was coming with me that it was a fish. So put my back into it, and away it went. And after a fair bit of a fight, finally got it up, thinking it might have just been a carp, and a nice 73 centimetre cod came up. So certainly that was a memorable one as well. And
what sort of lure was that one on, Alex?
Oh, look, I like to plug the local lures, but this time it was on the ever faithful Daiwa RPM. So, just fishing for callop in that tournament, obviously, and, found a nice bit of structure in about the 5 metre depth range, and, had a cast, and, that was the result. So, it was pretty
They're
good.
very popular, those ones. They seem to produce the goods.
Yeah, they're very, very consistent.
All right, and Alex, tell us, what is your favourite thing about fishing?
Favourite thing about fishing? Well, it's a long list, but if I had to pick one favourite thing, it'd probably be basically the ability to immerse yourself in this amazing resource that Mother Nature has provided us, and forget about all the problems, and heal any lingering mental health issues that you might have, whether it's creeping in anxiety or a bit of depression that you might have, and you can really just escape from, technology and the ever-consuming digital world. And I think the best thing of all is that you can do that and share that experience with the people that you love, whether it's your partner or your children, your mum or your dad, your parents, or your mates, or even your dog. So I think that's probably my favourite thing, just the ability to really immerse yourself in nature and really just, help soothe and heal your soul.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be a common theme, and we certainly agree with that sentiment. It's good being out, getting amongst it, and you can just forget about all of the troubles and trials and tribulations of the world we face.
Absolutely.
Alex, your first fishing memory, or what got you into it? You said you've had a couple of good trips away with the old man. Was it he who got you into fishing, or how did it happen?
Yeah, I'd definitely say it was Dad. I had a holiday house on Kangaroo Island well before I was born, the family holiday house. So ever since I was born, I think before I was even 6 months old, I was heading over to Kangaroo Island fishing with Dad or watching Dad fish at that age. But first probably memories were probably around the age of about 4. I can remember fishing with Dad for brim in Chapman River on KI, or out in the boat off Island Beach for snook and whiting. Certainly Dad got me into fishing, and the first few memories are usually, definitely over there on the island.
Yes, very good. It's certainly a place we love to get over to, and it's a wide variety of fishing, as you've discussed.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
And what is your favourite sort of fishing? Is it the brim, the kayaking over on KI? Tell us what's your favourite.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. Anything surface or top water is obviously really, really exciting and fun. But at the end of the day, pretty much anything that's involved with fishing on Kangaroo Island, specifically kayaking and the different fisheries over there, whether it's, kayaking off American River and the coastline there for snook, or for salmon or King George whiting or squid, or whether it's hitting the estuaries, the micro estuaries over there for trying to find those 40 centimetre plus bream, that's really special as well. So yeah, definitely fishing over on the island. As I said, the island's my second home, and that's where where my heart lies. So I really enjoy any type of fishing over there.
Yeah, you can't go wrong over there. We're very jealous you get to spend a bit of time over there. Mate, you must have had a funny fishing story along the way, or one that got away. So tell us about that, mate.
Yeah, look, I don't know if I can go public with the funniest ones. I think it might get me in hot water. So it usually involves heading over to KI with the boys for a boys trip over there. Always pretty funny. But
yeah,
we'll go with the one that got away. I probably won't get in trouble for that one. So the one that got away was probably 2019, I reckon it was. And I was fishing Swan Reach for Callop, as I like to do every now and then. And probably having one of the best days I've ever had on the Callop, and I had about 20 Callop by lunchtime. All catch and release. I don't really eat too many fish. It's quite rare that I'll keep any. But having an awesome session on the Callop, and I found some nice structure and nice timber. Once again on the Daiwa RPM, I was flicking it around this timber and just retrieving the lure back to the kayak. I was on the kayak. And I got the lure just up to the surface, about to lift it out of the water, and this big head and shoulders, just big green head, chomped my lure, inhaled it, turned around, did a 180 and started screaming back towards the structure. Mm-hmm. I was using a fairly light Shimano Zodius baitcaster setup that I got from Sport Fishing Scene, and I could not stop this fish. It would have been a metre plus for sure. It was just getting closer and closer to the structure, so my drag was locked. So I decided to put the thumb on the reel just to try and slow it down a bit more, and I pulled the hook straight away, and that's all she wrote.
It's never a good feeling, is it?
No, and that was my first ever experience with a cod, and I thought it might have been my last, but luckily enough, like I said, I was able to get my first end of last year. So, but that was a bit heartbreaking.
Yes, certainly won't forget.
They always are. They always are, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not good.
But for some reason, we just keep coming back for more.
That's right. It's an addiction, isn't it?
All right, Alex, thanks for answering those questions for us. We're going to keep moving. Can you tell us firstly about your involvement with Recfish SA and some of the projects you've got going on there?
Yeah, look, so I'm a director on the board at Recfish SA. I've been lucky enough to be on the board since I think around the end of 2019, so coming into my third year now. Pretty great to be in that opportunity. I feel pretty blessed to be in that opportunity where I can, sort of work and have an involvement in some projects and try and sort of make a bit of a difference and improve things for rec fishers in SA. But a few of the projects we've got going on at the moment, there's a lot of them that are based around citizen science. Personally, I think that there needs to be more data around rec catches and citizen science data. I think that, once we get some more data on the recreational sector, that we'll be better equipped when we hit the negotiating table, and we'll be able to sort of argue for a bit better slice of the pie, because I think at the moment it's probably not where it needs to be, and our sector's really, really undervalued. So I think with citizen science data, I think it needs to be collected and stored by an independent organisation. A few organisations that might be equipped to do that are, say, SAFTAG, who are, the tagging body in South Australia, or, our national peak body in ARFF. I think that way, with the citizen science data, held independently and collected independently, it can be used appropriately and in a way that sort of protects the privacy of rec anglers, and we can start to build that trust and get more people involved in citizen science and reporting their catches. So in that space, another thing we're trying to help out with is promoting frame donations. So there's a few frame donations going on with yellowfin whiting, with silver trevally, and also bream. Just trying to get a bit more data on those species, which ultimately is, in the best interest of the species. We're obviously working with SAFTAG a fair bit at the moment. One of the projects we've got going on, you may have heard of it on social medias, is, reporting your recaps. If you recapture a tagged fish, you can win yourself a subscription to either SA Angler magazine or Fishing SA magazine of your choice. So Recfish SA will supply that subscription, and if you head to our social medias, you'll see what's involved in that. But it's basically just reporting the tag, getting a photo with the fish, and then reporting that to SAF tag, and that's how you can win yourself a prize. We've got the Kakadu of the South project going on at the moment, which is a long ongoing project, which is basically with developing the southeast lakes and waterways into fisheries. So that's a pretty big project as well. The other one that you might have heard of is the Shimano tags that are in a few fish around the state. So there's some in the Coorong, and there's also some in Warren Reservoir. We had our first Shimano prize pack giveaway only a couple of weeks ago. A local up at Williamstown, name's Jerry, finally caught one of these callop that were tagged with a blue Shimano tag, so he won himself a pretty cool prize there. All you need to do with that one is get some photos of the fish and carefully cut the Shimano tag near the fish, and give that to Recfish SA, and you win yourself a pretty cool Shimano prize pack there.
Pretty happy angler there, I would have thought.
Oh, he was stoked. It's his local resi, and he's just headed down to the local resi after work one day to, have a go at some of the callop there, and end up winning himself quite a decent Shimano prize pack. It comes with a Shimano Stratic reel and a face sock and stubby holder and bottle opener and a few other things. So. And
there's still quite a few left to win, is there, Alex?
Yeah, look, there's another 2 to win for the Warren, and there's another 3 still to go in the Coorong. So I think the Coorong's a bit difficult. Obviously, it's a much bigger waterway, water body, and I think the fish come and go a bit more, especially the motherway there. So but we're not expecting recaps anytime soon. Although from what I hear from SAFTAG, there's been quite a few recaps in the Coorong lately, which is a good change. So it's certainly pretty cool project that we got going on there. And obviously, as you know, apart from those projects, we're obviously got a seat on the MARFAC, so continuing our advocacy role there, and whilst we're still trying to do all these projects to improve the opportunities for rec fishers.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, it's excellent. You've clearly got a massive amount going on in Recfish SA, and we very much appreciate everything you're doing for it. And it's interesting you raise about the sort of data and wanting to be able to collate some more sort of real information and things around the fishery so that we've got more of a stake. It's a very common theme amongst a lot of the bodies through recreational fishing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think one of the important things, look, this is sort of my personal view on things, is I think a lot of times recreational fishers are assumed to be, going out every day taking their bag limits. But, me personally, I rarely take a few fish for a feed. It's not often. It's usually when I'm on Kangaroo Island, and I'm might get a couple of whiting and snook. And there's certainly a lot of people that do love to go get their bag limit and have a nice feed and feed their family, and that's fantastic. But I think there's also a lot of people as well that, like to practice catch and release or like to sort of limit their catch. So I think it's important that we understand all the aspirations of recreational fishers, and that it might not necessarily be that everyone wants to go catch their bag limit, which obviously you're well entitled to do, and it's fantastic to be able to catch your bag limit and feed the family. But it's certainly not what everyone's doing, and it'd be great to have that data so that we can actually say, look, we're actually catching a lot less than we're being seen to be taking, and I think from there we can sort of negotiate a bit better allocation for the rec sector.
Yeah, absolutely. And you probably only really need to go fishing with Rhodey to realise catching your bag ain't as easy as it seems.
It's not, is it? It's not. That's probably why I don't eat much, because I just not the best at catching my bag limit.
No, fair enough.
Alex, the Aruna Dam restocking project, great success. Tell us about your involvement.
Yeah, that was a pretty special one. we'll go back to the start. It was Aruna Dam was flagged by one of our members, Alan Hall, as a potential site to develop into a fishery. I came in after a lot of the groundwork was done, but from what I can tell, it was a project that was funded by the previous mine operator there after they shut down, and also the Department of Environment and Water, just to try and help out the struggling towns there and bring a bit of tourism to the region. So basically, I was part of the Warren Recreational Fishing Committee at that time, who were an organisational member of RecFish SA, and we were asked to provide some assistance to RecFish SA to stock that body of water. So Danny Simpson, who was our executive director at the time, coordinated that stocking, and it was a pretty memorable experience, because it started off meeting up at Cadell at about 7 in the morning, where we actually stocked about 10,000 Murray cod through funding from our generous members. After that, we loaded up the fish for Aruna at Cadell, which we were met there by the Murray-Darling Fisheries, who I think came over from Victoria. So we loaded up at Cadell and made the big trip up to Aruna Dam, and I think we got to Aruna by about 2 or 3, and that's when we stocked 20,000 golden perch into Aruna and 10,000 Murray cod, and then made our way back just in time for dinner at Port Augusta there. So it was a massive day, and it was a pretty special place, and a pretty memorable stocking to be involved in, and all the signs were there that it was going to be successful. There was plenty of yabbies on the water's edge, and there's certainly a lot of turtles in there, but apart from that, there didn't seem to be many other predators for the fish. There was no existing population of any other species that I'm aware of. So fast forward 2 years, which was only several weeks ago, to the 2-year anniversary of that stocking, we thought that it would be a good time to organise a bit of a survey up there, because we certainly hadn't heard too many reports, and being so far away, a lot of people probably were reluctant to make the trip up there without knowing for sure whether the fish were there or were taking lures or what they were doing. So we got a few volunteers, RecFish SA members, who generously volunteered to come and help us, and drove up there a few weeks ago, and started at first light on the Saturday, set up the citizen science station, we called it, where we had a measuring device and some scales and my tagging kit. And basically we didn't know what we were going to find, but we thought we'd launch the kayaks and see what we could come up with. And I think by lunchtime we had about 10 fish between us, and after lunch we had about another 10. So it was really successful, and I think we ended up processing about 12 fish, 12 callop through the science station there, and they range from about 31 centimetres to 39 centimetres.
Beautiful.
So that's 2 years of growth rate. So it's really pleasing growth rate. Shows that the fish are growing well and they're flourishing there. We didn't catch any cod, but we did see 2 cod. So
that's good to see.
Yeah, so there's pleasing signs, but if the other reservoirs are any indication to go off of, the cod seem to usually take about 6 to 18 months longer than the callop to start chewing on the lures. So, I would expect in the next 12 months we should see cod being caught.
Yeah, it's very good, and that's a good growth. Shows the system is very healthy, which is what we want to see, and always good to have some numbers and some figures to support the work that you're doing.
Absolutely, and the other positive side of this is the tourism and dollar value and the economic value that Aruna is going to bring to the local regions. And I know a lot of the towns up there are really struggling since the close of the mine. So the group that went up there, including myself and the RecFish SA members, we kept a logbook of our spending just to see what the sort of dollar figure would be for a single trip to Aruna. And between the 6 of us on a single trip up there, we spent over $1,200 just at regional towns. So that's a great boost to the regional towns there. And if we can get people sort of making an annual trip up there and make it popular, then I think it'll be great for the regions up there, great for tourism, and we certainly got a lot of ideas for Arena with the tagged fish. There's possible comps that we can run, or put some cash prizes on those tags for recaps, and really make it even more worthwhile to head up there.
Yeah, sounds like it was a successful trip on all fronts, Alex. So well done on that one.
Cheers, mate.
Next
Absolutely.
thing we wanted to talk about with you is you're very involved in the Bream Master SA series. Tell us about that. I think there's another event coming up shortly.
Yes, so this weekend gone, we just had our first round, which was the Savage Gear round 1. Back in 2019, I think it was, Benny Gibbs contacted me and invited me to help him and to co-host a Bream tournament, dedicated Bream tournament for South Australia. So we put our heads together just to see where it would take us, and realised that for some reason him and I just work really well together, and just the ideas just started flowing, and I think we're both very motivated and hardworking individuals, and just as soon as we get an idea, we just put it to reality and make it happen. And wasn't before long we had a fair few sponsors wanting to join us, and we thought, oh well, this is going to be real. And the one thing that I suppose we copped criticism with at the start is that we were going to make it a live well weigh-in competition. So basically you couldn't compete unless you had a live well that met our requirements. So at the start, everyone sort of said, that's silly, you won't get anyone competing apart from the guys that do the Hobie rounds interstate, because not many people have live wells. But by the first round of the first series, we realised that wasn't going to be the case, because I think we had about 24 competitors, and the next round was 26. So it's really just grown, and we just had our first, like I said, the first tournament of this season, which is our second season. And last year our biggest number was 26, and we smashed it out the water with 34 this year. So we've really grown, and just the dedication of the kayak anglers in the state to invest that money to buy a live well, or to build their own live well just to be able to compete in our tournament is it's pretty special, and it's a really good feeling. So yeah, we're pretty excited that that's up and running, and hope that we can really use it to grow the kayak scene in South Australia.
Very
Absolutely,
good,
mate. It sounds like you're just going from strength to strength. It's another great thing you're doing for the sort of freshwater fishing scene, and gives a lot of people activities to do to get out there and do what we all enjoy doing, which is wetting a line.
Absolutely, mate, for sure.
And Alex, you're also quite heavily involved in the Warren Rec Fish Committee, and also had quite a bit of involvement, or still do, with the OzFish Barossa chapter. You sound like a very busy man, mate. You're involved in just about everything.
Yeah, I'm not very good at saying no.
We're finding that out.
But it's great. That was sort of what got me into the whole advocacy project in the rec fishing scene type scenario. So it started off with the Warren RFC. It basically came when I first heard about the Warren. I think back in 2015 roughly, that you could fish it. Started fishing it, noticed there was no Facebook page for it, so I thought, I'll create a Facebook page somewhere where people go to the Warren, they can post their catches. Wasn't long before there was thousands of members on the Warren page. We were having a lot of questions come through, well, what about this, or why can't we do that, or these are the fish we want stocked, or this is, we need signage upgrades, or there's too much rubbish. So I was in a lot of contact with Recfish SA, and they basically helped us set up a formal committee so that we could, really utilise the Facebook page and the line to the people that fish the reservoir there, to sort of advocate on their behalf. So with the RFC, we're basically, our role to begin with, whilst Recfish SA were managing the reservoir and the permit system, was basically just sort of community ownership and helping manage the fishery. So we basically, when we started, I was elected as the coordinator and chairperson, and we had about 10 members. And from there, we basically we're just helping manage and promote the Warren through the social media page mainly. And then from there, it sort of expanded. Once we had contact with the Barossa Council and SA Water, we were then able to negotiate for things like signage upgrades and parking upgrades and things like that. We were also invited by Recreational SA to help with the stocking, which was pretty special. We ran a few kayak comps in the Warren and a few events and Gone Fishing Day and things like that. And through the social media page, we were also able to help with education, whether it's permit conditions or correct fish handling, or what fish you can take, what fish you can put back, and we also have rostered cleanups of the Warren. So we all have our month where we'll head to the Warren. We use it as an excuse for a fish, and while we're there, we sort of walk the banks and help clean up any rubbish. So that's the Warren RFC Recreational Fishing Committee side of things. The OzFish side of things, we basically used our RFC to form an OzFish chapter so that we could basically take part in habitat enhancement projects. So OzFish are a national charity organisation, basically dedicated to improving the health of fisheries and waterways around the country. Through starting an OzFish chapter, we were able to unlock a little bit of funding for projects. So it's really hard to get habitat enhancement projects done in the Warren because there's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But we have been able to do a few small habitat enhancement projects with rocks and pots and things like that. So there should be some information coming out soon from OzFish on that aspect. But yeah, that's probably the two groups that really got me involved in what I'm doing now.
Yes, now it sounds like you're very busy, and great to have someone like you getting involved in, the OzFish, the RecFish, all these different organisations, and you do very well to juggle all the balls at once.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support.
Fantastic to have you on the show, Alex. Really do appreciate your support, and we look forward to keeping in touch and seeing everything you can achieve in the many, many different areas you're involved with. Thanks for your time today and coming on the show.
Thanks very much, lads. Thanks for having me on, and love the podcast, and can't wait to hear the next show, and you guys are doing a great job.
Thanks, Alex. All right, Diz, bloody good to chat with Alex Williams.
Jeez, he's a busy man, isn't he, Rhodey?
He certainly is. Very, very important man in the freshwater fishing scene, Diz.
What a great contributor to recreational fishing. We love that.
We do. Now, Diz, keep it moving.
Roll it in, mate. Roll it onto the fishing report. I'm going to give you this for free. The tuna were certainly not as easy to find off Althorpe's as they were last time.
Nah, the weather was good. We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
We chatted to a lot of blokes at the ramp.
Yep.
Didn't seem to be too many fish caught.
Bit of mixed reviews, I would have thought.
That one big boat got their bag.
Yeah.
They were quite a fair way out by the sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a serious vessel, that.
But certainly a lot of people weren't getting them.
No, that's right. And look, the reef fishing wasn't a heck of a lot better by comparison to the last trip. We fished a few similar lumps, and they just weren't coming over the same way.
No nannies, and only one blue maul on.
Yeah, very interesting.
Good fish though, the blue maul. It pulled a bit of string.
Yeah, no, well, I thought a bigger one was going to come up myself.
So did I, actually.
It was an angry...
It fought out of its class.
It was an angry mowie.
Was.
But plenty of boats out again for the long weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of boats, same sort of deal. You make the trek out there and you sort of think you're on your own, and then as soon as you get to the island, they're all over the place, aren't they?
They are.
But it was nice to get into sort of the bay there.
Yeah.
Near the jetty.
There were quite a few boats there by the end of the afternoon.
A lot of boats there. I think they were trying their luck for some whiting.
We got a couple, not many.
We did get a couple. Lots of wrasse.
Yeah, lots of wrasse out there, isn't there?
Lots of wrasse. But no, still a great day on the water. One thing was very interesting was that Tinny out there just heaving in snook.
Yeah, they would have caught 8, wouldn't they?
They would have caught heaps of snook.
Yeah.
In the bay there, trawling a paravane, couple of guys there pulling a paravane each side. They would have pulled in at least half a dozen while we were watching them.
Plus the rest, I reckon.
Yeah, good call.
But there was some tuna apparently around the Gleason's Landing, Daly Head, Corny Point Way.
Ooh.
A couple of people told us that.
Yeah, interesting.
So I think Angus Murdoch, we ran into him at the pub. Alex Hayes, both had heard of fish getting caught along that side of the coast.
Got the local hot tip.
Should have gone there, really, shouldn't we?
Probably, yeah.
Anyway.
There's always next time, mate.
Yeah, certainly does.
One thing I do like to mention in the fishing report is when you get outfished by Lucy, which is pretty much every episode.
It's rare, isn't it?
No, it's pretty much every episode. How'd you go on the tings on Saturday?
Yeah, mate, we got 5.
Yeah, Lucy caught them all, or?
Oh, most of them.
All of them. Also, you're just dragging in leatheries while Lucy caught the kidney slappers.
Look, I put her on the spot, mate.
God, we love that in the fishing report. And look, it was good to get. I thought Jack was going to be able to put us on the fish, being a local and all. He didn't come through with the goods out of Althorpe.
So you just get to whack him while he's not here.
We both said while you were parking the car that we had a good feeling about the day.
Yeah, shouldn't have said that, should you?
We might have put the mockers on us, but Jack was telling me that him and his brother got onto some good crays while they were down there camping for the weekend.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them.
And we did see the remnants of them in the Burley bucket too, did we, Rody?
Certainly did.
Yeah, very good. Very good. They love a dive, those guys, don't they?
They do.
Excellent. Well, look, not much else to report on in the fishing report. There's all that usual standard stuff, SBTs or Victor.
Yes.
Squid
getting around.
Gear.
I've seen a few squid reports.
Yeah.
On the boat squidders.
No, very, very disappointing about Althorpe's, but still a great day out of the water as always.
Yes, certainly.
Rody, tackle segment. We put something up. We got some suggestions. Thank you to all the contributors. And what we've decided is we'd like to hassle them as guests.
Yes. So the Squid Easy.
Squid Easy.
Res baits.
So
we're going to try and...
Savage tackle.
Yes.
We're going to get onto them. We're going to get them on the podcast because we'd love to hear from them. We don't want to sell their products short.
No. So we're going to stick... This is a bit of a technology fishing segment here, Diz.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bit of a tech guru, you know that.
Rates his own work.
No, I'm very far from a tech guru, but I did stumble upon this one. It's a little app from the Apple Store.
Okay.
I think it might have cost me $9.95. Didn't realise I was paying for it at the time, but apparently I was. It's called ID Fish.
Yes.
And what it is, it's for blokes like you. You're out fishing at Althorpe's.
Yeah.
You pull in a red fish. You're not sure what it is.
Okay, yeah.
So what do? You click on... I'm on the app now. I'm going to talk you through it. So you click your state. We're in South Australia.
Yes, we are.
Choose your water salinity. We were fishing in salt water.
We were.
So you click salt water. How many gills did it have? Just the one gill slit, this one. So you can pick one. You can pick 5 to 7, which would be more your sharks.
Yes.
So it had one gill, this one. What size head did it have? So you pick the head that best shapes the catch. Was it blunt? Did it have a bill? Was it rounded, downturned, extended, or other? This one was downturned, Diz.
Okay.
Then you talk about the body shape. Was it flat, like a flathead or a flounder? Was it broad, like a snapper? A wide fish? A narrow fish, like a snook or a whiting? Or a flat fish?
Okay.
This one was, I'd say it was narrow. What colour was it above the lateral line? It was red. Below the lateral line, red again.
Oh.
Did it have a spot or a stripe or multiples? This one had spots. What colour were the spots? They were yellow. Did it have teeth? No teeth. Did it have whiskers or barbels or none? This one had whiskers. You can keep going into as much detail as you want to provide the app, and each detail you give it, it gives you a number that it's sort of narrowed your search down to.
Right.
So at this point, I've got it down to 5.
Okay.
So I click on the 5, and it gives me 5 different options of what that fish could be, with plenty of pictures of the fish.
Okay.
Of all the different sort of, connotations of how it can look.
Yes.
So what we do, we get this app up, and we say, we put in all those details, it gives us the options, and I found it was a goatfish.
Goatfish?
It was a red mullet.
Ah.
Matched the description perfectly.
Fantastic.
And the others it could have been was a red gurnard, an eastern kelpfish, a latchet, or a warty prowfish. So it's good for obviously we know a red mullet is. We're experts in the field.
Yes.
But occasionally we get something we're not quite sure about.
Yes.
So what you do, you tick through the boxes, you give as much detail as you can about the fish,
Yep.
and then it will shortlist all the species that fit your description.
Is this a sponsored post?
No, but it's
we
good.
getting paid?
Oh, we should. So what you can do then is more features. So then click on the red goatfish.
Yep.
And I go plus. Am I fishing from a boat? Yes. I tell them how many people are in my boat. And what it does is it then tells me some more details about the bag and boat limit and all that, Diz.
Wow.
Who caught the fish? It can tell you all these things.
That's not bad.
So, yeah, look, I'm on board with it.
You're on board? You like it? I suppose after you've coughed up $10, you better be happy with it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it.
Good. Good, mate.
Any questions for you, Diz?
No, I think you talked us through the app exceptionally well. That's why I sort of queried whether there was any hashtag spawn or a sponsored post, or whether we were some sort of, maybe you did some little side hustle with the company or anything like that.
No, I'm just on board with it.
Okay, very good.
It's also got a count, so Diz, so I can count how many fish I got.
Yeah.
And it'll let me know when I got my boat limit, my bag limit, if you wanted to use it out in the water.
Okay.
To count how many whiting you've got.
Very good. I like it.
So that's our tackle segment of the week, Diz.
So that'd probably save a few of those Facebook posts where you go, can somebody tell me what fish this is?
Yes. Jump on ID Fish.
And you put up a photo of a wrasse or something. You go, somebody just tell me what fish this is.
And 98% of them are either a wrasse, a red mullet, or an ornamental cowfish.
Yes. So this is going to save you a lot of that sort of hassle.
Yeah, and I reckon it's worth the $9.95 I paid for it.
So you're happy so far? A satisfied purchase?
Yeah, I reckon this will probably make the short list of our financial year, end of financial year episode bargains.
Very good, mate. Very good. Well, excellent little tackle segment there with Rhodey. We like that. It's been a great episode. Good to hear from Alex Williams. Plenty of good news in there, obviously, with the somber story of the person who passed. But
it's a message in that too, Diz.
There is.
Got to learn something from it.
There is, but good episode all round. Happy with the work, Rhodey?
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Jump on the socials. Give it a like.
Yeah, give it a share.
Give it a share.
Maybe give us a review.
Give us a review.
Jump on your Spotify and maybe review the boys.
Yeah, just get involved.
We're good blokes, so I'd give us 5 stars if I was voting. I'm not sure that's allowed though, is it, Diz?
No. Yeah, well, you've got five or so of your nearest and dearest giving us reviews.
Yeah, I'm giving out a couple of $10 notes to give us a 5-star review.
Great stuff, mate. Good to catch up with you. Good to have a bit of a yarn about fishing, mate. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.